So I've studied some people, um, borderline obsession, uh, some really fascinating people, but also some absolute study them that much that it's like some of the real greats, like the your Brian Cloughs, who's my subject, book subject come April. Um, who else? I've just finished it. Well, but Mickey Duff's book's finished, and I'm going to be proofing it next week. And so what I find is, when there's certain characters that they certainly wouldn't be classed as great and legends and all that interesting, but it's almost when you kind of, and I'm just looking at the bookshelf now. Obviously, your Paul Sykes, your Roy Shaws, who had dementia, I think, at the end. Um, you look at him in his prime. It's very sad. But what I'm talking about is your likes of your Mickey Duff and your Brian Clough. When you look at them, which I do a lot, I never tire of watching footage of Brian Clough. If I'm ever a little bit down or depressed, I just watch him. And it's just really sad that us, the human race, sorry about that, someone's got the music on. Um, but yeah, your likes of your Brian Clough, who Obi, received an Obi. It's just so sad that when you watch him and when he was just left Derby County and got them up and um, won the league with them, it'd be like basically someone winning the Premiership with like Ipswich or something today. And obviously he went on to do great things. Was so great he won the European Cup with Nottingham Forest, and just to prove how great he was, the year after he did it again, back to back. There's no surprise. Jose Mourinho was obsessed with Brian Clough. Had a real life man size picture of him in his office, and yeah, if I just kind of studied a lot of trying to look at some of the books. But anyway, I've been around people, characters, interesting people who I've met. Sadly, no longer here. And when you know, as I said, I'm using Brian Clough as an example, and it's just so sad how someone so great, a man among men, just obviously he alcoholic in the end, died 69, probably looked a lot older. But and Mickey Duff, he finished his days in a nursing home, dementia, Alzheimer's, and obviously he had a really smart brain. He he has such a skillful mind, and obviously the tragic thing about it was that mind was laid low by dementia. But obviously him, I'm gonna go and kill her in a bit. It's the dozy wife singing. Um, but yeah, so when I watch footage of Mickey Duff in the '60s, so vibrant, so full of energy, so just top of the world, and it really saddens me. It's really tragic. Saddens me when you see these absolute legends who have such a terrific legacy, and life, it just catches up on you as it catches up with us all. I was reading something the other day, and it said, I mean, I'm 44. I know I don't look it, and it said this 44-year-old middle-aged man, and I was reading thinking, I'm 44. I'm a man. That means I'm middle-aged. And but in my head, I was 17 not that long ago. But time waits for no one. But it is it's tragic, and But then again, there's a saying in life, never regret growing old, because it's a privilege denied to many. And I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends, old friends, and died in the 20s, and sometimes I can get a little bit down because I'm going grey under them bits, and I'm not as thin as I once quite was, but I'm still here, and that's a point. But yeah, sad. It is really saddens me, and you look at the graves, and you just think, well, once upon a time in, well, particularly when I'm in Middlesbrough, I go past Albert Park, and I look at the Brian Clough statue, which his wife opened up in 2000 and she died 2013, so I think she opened it about 2009. And when I see the old footage of Mickey Duff, and I've researched his life now. Can you turn that off, please? I'm doing a video. I wonder if I've been gay would have been easier than dealing with women. But yeah, when I obviously Duff, Monique Prager, born 1929, and I found articles of him from 1950, a 21-year-old putting shows on, and yeah, these people led terrific lives. And on at the end of Mickey Duff's biography in 1999, he said, and I quote, "If I could have my life over again, I would do exactly the same thing." But yeah, for me, you know, I remember talking to the late great Brendan Ingle a couple of years back, and must have been about 18 months before he died, and he had Alzheimer's or dementia as well. And I was very aware. I'd seen him a couple of times at boxing shows, but I'd never spoken to him. But I was quite aware I was talking to a shell of who he once was. And yeah, these late great people, I just wish they were still around. Your Tommy Millers and um, yeah, Ernie Fossies. Boxing's very different these days. It's been replaced by your proper boxing men like your Mickey Duffs, like your Terry Lawlesses, like your Tommy Millers, and it's all been replaced by people in suits from Essex and Kent who aren't really boxing people, and but it matters most how many followers on Instagram they've got, and yeah, but such is life, and yeah, it's very very sad, and I always feel a connection with a character. If I've literally been obsessed with Mickey Duff for the past year. Brian Clough will be my next one, and I've done it with other characters. Some characters not particularly nice, but the connection is there because you've researched the life, you've relived some of their moments, particularly with some of the family members and all this. But yeah, it's such is life. But I do feel, watching the footage of Duff and Clough and like from 70 years ago or whatever, and yeah, it just feels it's just quite sad.